What's going on, guys? Back here with another video, and today we have a very, very, very special guest, Ronin, Mystic Ronin. What an awesome individual he is, and I'm definitely pleased to have him on the first show of this entirety of this channel. Really, really awesome guy, good friend of mine now. Really just grateful that got to connect with an individual as himself. So, without further ado, I'll let him introduce himself a little bit more, and let's get this show kicked off.
Yes, thank you, Dustin. Peace and harmony to everyone out here. I am the Mystic Ronin, and I am one third of the Ronin experience on the YouTube. Come check us out. We have very powerful beings. We have Kalel Keanu of Kunami Codes that comes and joins us, and he is a master teacher, in my opinion. And we also have Moonfeather, who is straight from spirit. She rocks it. So come check out, come subscribe, come check out the underground, the YouTube. This is where we rock from spirit. So my friend Dustin is a true honor. I know that you've been on there, and
I have.
I noticed that like immediately our energy, your energy just totally flowed with ours, and it's a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? So it's a true honor to be here, and so much gratitude.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it did. It just flowed so simple, so easy, so effortlessly, and yeah. So just as it should, right?
Absolutely, man. I mean, we it's a very beautiful and complex realm out here, my friends, and it in my opinion, if it's not from love, I want nothing to do with it. That's where my compass points. I don't follow anyone, and I don't want anyone to follow me. You know what I mean? So I'm out here. I've traversed the realm. I've traversed the plane, and have learned many lessons, both without, external, and within as well. And again. It's just incredible, man. We're all trying to share. There's very interesting times, cosmically, celestially, energetically, as above, so below. So what's going on above our heads and what's going on below our feet? We're in the middle of this layer cake, and it is really incredible, man. You know what I mean? So not many people know. What's funny, Dustin, my friend, is I've mentioned things over the recent years. I know you and I have talked. Some people don't notice it. That's why, like this last episode on the Ronin experience, I called it like portals, doors open and close. Do you even notice it though? And it's funny when I asked people that directly, they were like, I don't know what you mean. I didn't notice anything. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, you may not have registered it in your mind because you're too in your mind, but I can tell you energetically there was some things happening in your being. You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
if you ignore it, that's fine. The universe is always talking to you. Are you able to read the stars? Are you able to read the energy and the vibes and the frequency? Vibrations and frequency is what this whole deal is about.
That's
Um,
it.
yeah. So do you speak that language? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Many people, like I said, the mind, many people are really into the mind. The mind, in a lot of regards, is not necessarily your friend. You know what I mean? It's funny how like people have been sharing a lot recently in my flow in my circle. Like, what do you're worried about what? Money. You're worried about some other materialistic things. You got bills, and I get it. Trust me, I get it. But also, if you really understood this realm and what you are and why you're here and where you came from and where you're going, all this is temporary, and you would fully be like, why the heck am I driving, commuting in the morning to going to a cubicle pen, cubicle farm, to what? Pay the bills. I gotta pay taxes. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Yo, if you fully grasped what this was all about, who you are, what you are, a fractal of the one source, you would be like, see you later. I'm turning around. I'm going home. You know what I mean? You'd be like, yo, this is nothing. This is none of this means anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
On those things that we put a lot of importance about, Dustin. What's funny is you and I, we do focus on getting some of these matrix credits. Uh, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with a shaman mystic driving around in a Lambo Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? Because if your money magic is actually working and you're broke, you're doing it wrong. Because we can hack this video game. Why not play it? Why not enjoy it? You know,
Well, that
please.
yes, and that's it. No, that's it. That's it. And it's really funny. Like, there's a lot of people that don't understand. Like, going back to the energy thing, right? And just to kind of simplify this the easiest way that I really possibly can for everybody out there, what he's talking about is when you walk into a room, you can't feel the tenseness in the air. Like, you can't feel like when people are upset, when people are pissed off at you, or somebody's sad or upset, you can feel that tenseness in the air, like you could cut a knife through the air. That's how heavy the energy is. That's what we're talking about. And relationships with people change every day. People change every day, for that matter, too. So if people are changing, I mean, what are we? We are energy. So the energy is changing as well. And if you can't feel these things happening, you really got to tap in. You really got to tune in to yourself and you into spirit, and you really have to just be able to truly absorb and feel these things and use your discernment to the best of your ability, so you'll be able to navigate correctly. Because that's all we're really here trying to do: navigate correctly, learn our lessons, learn everything, gain wisdom and knowledge. Whatever, you might do some other things too, and that's perfectly okay. um, but you have to have some tools to be able to even play this game, as Ronan says. And that's exactly the way I look at it too. This is a game, and if you know the rules, then you can win. And that's what it's all about, right? We're here to win. We're here to fucking win. Let's go. Right?
Absolutely. And if one is, and I'm not trying to speak you need to do this. I'm not even coming from that. Trust me. I'm a
Facts.
the
Yep.
potter's clay. You know what I'm saying? Is
Yes.
so just know that I'm here with you guys, and I'm here working on as well. But something that I've greatly learned is change. The only thing that is constant is change. The constant. So if you're holding on to old ways, I would highly recommend you try and identify those anchors and pull those anchors off so that you can flow with this cosmic current, because this realm changes. The literal energy, if you're a very logical type person, left, right brain, my whole goal, by the way, is to connect the left and right brain together. If you're very logical, there are actual instruments that can measure the change of the energy. One is called, like, the Schumann resonance, for example. That changes. If you're an energetic being, which you should know that by now, my friends, because you are, and the energy of the realm changes, don't you think that would affect you? And when stepping into a room of other people, you have a torus field that goes all the way around, and it overlaps other people's torus fields. Think about the story of Moses being put in a basket, the Moses weave. Look up the Moses weave. That's almost like the tapestry of the cosmos. And excuse me. So When you're interacting with other energetic beings, you're going to feel their energy. And if you are on this tip, my friends, I highly recommend you learn to really grasp this energetic concept and frequency. And also, like what the heart beats with no one's permission, right? So, that's pumping out energy, and you walk into a room of people in their low vibe or their high vibe, you know, it's funny how everything's going to find its balance. So if you walk into a low vibe room, even if you're feeling great, you're probably going to feel yourself drop a couple freaks. You know what I mean? Uh, but if you know thyself, you can battle that. In my personal opinion, if I walk into a room, it's not my job anymore to expand. I don't even like the word raise anymore. I use expand. I don't like the word raise consciousness or raise frequency or raise vibe. I like the word expand. So expand the vibe. It's not my job to expand the vibe on people that are trying to hold down their vibe. Like they're trying to hold on. They're highly invested in this illusion. It's an illusion. Stop and smell the roses. I'll smell the roses. And yes, you can get logical. Like literally, the smell is very healthy, but it hits all these sensors, right? The brain is a part. It hits all these sensors, and it is healthy. And I still love it. But know that that is part of your physical avatar, which is to me, this is a loner, baby, and I love this loner. I got a pretty dope loner this go around, and so, but I'm not this. I'm a
Right.
spirit. I'm a spiritual. I'm a spiritual being of love and light. This is going dust to dust. This is going ashes. In fact, in my transition, I would like my people. I'll let them know, like, please, I want to be cremate my ashes, please, to leave what's left of that essence of this avatar. Although, again, it's not me. This isn't me, right? And you go in a spirit and you think about yourself. Are you a male or a female? Are you a whatever you look like? Are you six whatever tall? Are you 4 feet tall? None of that matters. So when you fully grasp that, you become so powerful. It's so liberating to not be held down by some people. And yes, Akashic records come into play, right? But also when you are again when you know that self and you sit and you can when you meditate and thoughts come in your mind, maybe it's from Akashic past trauma from some sort of parents upon parents upon parents, but you identify that and I see that, you can take its power away. You look at it like it's separate from you. You go, wow, that happened generations ago, and you go, okay, I'm not going to let that hold me down. And you actually break that cycle of trauma in a way, so you're not grasping on. Dustin, can you believe that they did this to my grandfather and his people? It's like you're gonna live with that and hold on to. I'm gonna hold on. Dustin, you don't get it. They did this to my. How about release all that? Nothing in the
Yeah.
past matters. Nothing in the future matters. No anxiety of the past. No regret. No actually no regrets of the past. No anxiety of the future. It's just now. I'm here with Dustin talking to a main homie right now, and it's beautiful. That's why I'm able to talk like this. I don't talk like this with what I mean, low vibe cats. So
Right.
anyway, I said a lot, but
No,
yeah,
I mean, but you're right. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like there's it's not and I did want to actually kind of point something out cuz this is a new channel. This is the very first video. Um I'm not here to do anything but share my journey and share my experience and hopefully maybe encourage and maybe hopefully empower and impact, people along the way and hopefully um you guys, learn something, right? I mean, cuz the main thing is here basically is I want to share all my experiences and maybe you can learn from them. Maybe you'll resonate with some of them, and maybe it'll help you get through a tough time. Maybe it won't, or maybe it'll help empower the person that you know that you're trying to discover yourself, right? Self discovery, empowerment. And I am a pure energy healer too, so I mean I also do stuff like that as well. um, Many different things. I do many different things, right? I don't limit myself to just one thing. There's I know Ronin does many things too. um, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know. that's how it all works and comes together. But it there's definitely a lot of things that we can all share with each other and learn from each other through experiences, and really just even discovering ourselves, our own self-discovery journey. Actually, even that, like, I had about like 3 years ago, I had an aha moment. Well, maybe a little bit longer. It was like 3 or 4 years, doesn't really matter, whatever, right? um so just kind of a little bit of a backstory. um in a sense of the world, I was aware at a young age of how uh, let's just not even say wrong. Just I was very aware of how the world operated, right? And I did a lot of research, et cetera, et cetera. But in a spiritual sense, I really truly didn't wake up till about maybe like 5 years ago, somewhere around there. It started for me the tail end spiritually of 2018, and just kind of has progressed from there. 2019 was super spicy for spiritual stuff. Let me tell you, that was a very very interesting experience for me. I met a lot of cool people along the journey so far, and we're gonna meet a lot more, which will be awesome. I know Ronan's gonna come down and hang out, and we're gonna vibe out, and you know might see some people explode because the vibe will be so high. I don't know, but um, yeah, no, it's all about learning and sharing and trying to bring people together. And and it's so funny because last night I was actually here, did a healing circle at the shop, and it was a very powerful evening, man. Like, it really was. And remember that card that I showed you right before I started the healing circle? I pulled that same damn card, and I've only messed with this deck probably like 4 or 5 times, right? And I pulled that same card. It said, "Gather your tribe." They keep telling me. They keep sharing that message. Gather your tribe. Gather your tribe. Gather your tribe. And they ain't letting up. They're not letting up. And they're saying, use your discernment. Which, hey, and that's another thing that, for me personally, I've had the biggest transformation over the past year, and even still going through the transformation. I'm always transforming and always changing. um, but specifically, what really has been going on with me for the past year and a half to 2 years is realizing, um, and not watering myself down, and being truly authentic in myself, no matter what, no matter for whoever's opinions may. You know what? Hey, I'm me, and that's it, and that's all I can really say. Not one person is ever going to be the same, just like a snowflake, right? We're all different. We can all be very similar in ways, but no one is the same, and everybody has their own unique energy signature too. And we're super super blessed to even be here, and I am very excited because we all signed up to be here, right now.
That's that's so powerful, man. I agree. I heard the call to come out and share my message, and I didn't want to because I don't have any social media. I've been roaming the land, and I heard spirit telling me to give your take. Come out here and give your take. And I'd like to read a little, just one paragraph of this book, and I think it's relevant to what you just said. It's funny that you just said that, and I'm just going to read this book real quick. Just a quick paragraph. It's about, so there's six archetypes, and one is the searcher, the searchers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts off with, as King Arthur would say, "Now once more I must ride with my knights to defend what was and the dream of what could be." The romanticism surrounding the myth of the band of mystic heroes fighting to right all wrongs has always created legendary figures. They are the Shaolin fighting monks, the Knights of the Round Table, the Jedi Masters, or the members of the Fellowship of the Ring. They heard the call and followed it until they met each other. The search united them in a pact of spiritual brotherhood between seekers of intensity. And I'll continue. Belonging to a tribe of searchers is always the result of choice. Nobody is born a Shaolin monk or a knight of the round table. Listening to the call is the way to become one of them. It is one of the most classical warrior myths to ever touch the heart of our collective imagination, the elite group of heroes bound together by common mission. This continues, but one aspect of that is a couple things rang out to me that there in that, I've been lighting the fires to unite the tribe. My specific message to be out there is to unite the tribes. That's how Dustin and I met. That's at least that's how we got to where we are now, to where we met. And you know that actually continues. There's some other archetypes in there where it's not the point of like glory hounding or anything like that. It's like, hey man, um, there's truth, there's love, there's light, and anyone trying to dim that light, uh, we have to kind of be the resistance against that, because there are so many amazing beings here that can get trapped in the traps. If you're going with the flow, there's little whirlpools along the side of the river. You could get stuck in a whirlpool. And so knowing a lot of this gnosis and knowledge is a way to unlock your greatness. Everyone here that's listening to me is actually a god. You're a fractal of the one. So if you're not a fractal of the one, if you're, then are you not a god? You know what I mean? Are you not also the one? It's funny to think how everyone is the one. You know what I mean? You are the one. And anyone that hasn't like really gotten into decoding of stuff like the Matrix or whatever, um, you know, Agent Smith is also you. So really, the only holdback is you. So when you look at, I can't do this though, guys. I hear you, but I just can't do it because of this is holding me back. The government, the system, the whoever. Those are self-imposed. When you fully unlock your greatness, you realize those are actually not the problem's never external. The problem is always internal. Always. Because if you're so powerful, which you are, and you were to fully come to realize that, no one you would well one you would just ignore things. You would pull your energy away, and two, you would just be you can navigate it so simply. You know what I mean? There's some practical ways, but as above, so below, mind, body, and soul, all these things. You could calculate your moves if you rock in spirit in the flow, and you know how to. The universe is always talking to you, and you can listen and hear it and interpret that. There's no amount of any obstacles that could possibly ever get in your way, ever. So Why am I not this? Why am I not that? Right? That's all me. But I blame these people. I blame that. I blame this situation. Nope. That's coming from a place of weakness. That's coming from a place of not weakness. I don't want to say that. I'm gonna. That's come up from a place of not knowing thyself. So I hope some of that made sense.
Oh
I was
yeah,
kind of
no,
it was a bit of a
absolutely.
tangent.
No, no, I love it, man. I love it. And just to get back to what you said earlier too on the mind, how our minds are powerful. That's actually one thing that if you stop and observe, like we'll just talk about negative energy, right? So typically, most of the time, and I encourage you guys to do this, whoever's watching, and really observe what your thoughts are. And the next time you get into like a negative little spell or something like that, and think about the thoughts that were created in your mind after you've seen something. Wasn't even like, okay, let's just say this. Let's just say I see somebody and they do certain things a lot that you may not like, right? And as soon as you see that person, boom, your mind fires up negative thoughts, right? And it starts snowballing in your mind, and you're building all that negative energy, and then you're actually creating all this negative energy in your mind, and nothing actually even externally happened, but internally you're going to mental warfare right now. And next thing you know, you're like, but once you actually are able to realize that, it's a game changer because you're like, okay, let me just turn that off for a minute and just kind of flow and just be try to be as present as possible, right? In situations like that, and just kind of see how it plays out. Turn that mind off. Tell your mind, all right, that's it. We gotta cut it off, because I guarantee you, the next time that you have a situation like this and you observe that, you'll realize that your mind actually started creating a bunch of negative energy when it really didn't even need to. And you know,
Excuse me.
me personally, what helps would, you can cleanse yourself, right? Cleanse yourself, cleanse your thoughts. Cleanse your body. You can use anything. You can use sage, you can use Palo Santo, which, I'm really big on frankincense to harmonize the energy.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things you can do. Even seawater, ocean water. Ocean water is one of the best tools as well. So,
I drink
you
it. I
know,
drink ocean water.
nice, nice.
I don't care what they say because I
Yeah,
want that.
hey, be a cleanse.
I want that salt water on the inside. I don't care what they say.
Yeah,
If I'm out on the beach, I sip it every once in a while. I'll sip it and straight up drink it.
yeah. Why not? Well, and that's the thing too. So, all right. So going back to the ocean water, right? For everybody out there that's listening, when's the last time that you went to the ocean and been just completely pissed off? Just completely. I mean, there's always exceptions to every rule, but I know for me and my personal experiences, I go to the beach. The ocean is like a vacuum for negative energy. It's like, whew, and it just takes it all away, right? And really, the sand, technically, as you're walking on it barefoot, sand, what is it made of? It's made of technically like glass and rocks and shells and things, but really, whenever you put them under a microscope, they're really they're really crystals at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
So we're sitting here getting that good, solid grounding energy, sitting there getting
getting
all our
sandblasted.
negative, yeah, right, getting all that
That's how you
negative
feel
energy
stuff out.
vacuumed away.
Yep.
Amazing, amazing. So we
You
definitely
know
have
another
to.
interesting thing. Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
No, no, go for it, go
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
You just again, I love this back and forth. You just bring up ideas. When it comes to things like the mind, and you're looking at the Black Mirror, the TV, the phone, whatever it may be. it's very interesting. Like your mind, your eyesight, etc., that data that gets put in, actually it's difficult. You might be thinking you're watching a show, some imagine some horror show, gosh, and you're actually receiving that trauma because your body, you don't actually know the difference. You're seeing it, and your mind is actually kind of going like receiving that. um you can go like cortisone levels or whatever, but on a spiritual level, you're actually receiving trauma because you're watching it all. You may be watching it or something, right? So if I think about it, like I'm here talking to you guys, Dustin, everything's chill. My dog is over here laying down. I'm chill. So things right now, this moment, are fine. You know what I mean? So if you look at
Absolutely.
things on the Black Mirror, it could be TV or the internet or whatever. Can you believe the horrendousness happen? These atrocities, and they are happening. They're not good, but at the same time, and I'm not saying just completely ignore them because yeah, but also in taking that in at all times, all the time, um, is probably not healthy to the trauma, which also lowers your vibe. I don't think you can just simply watch something. I do watch things with a decoder lens. There's a lot of things I actually don't enjoy watching because I have to watch it from a decoder lens. Um, because they do cast their spells, etc. in there. They do their predictive programming, all that type of stuff. Um, but I really limit myself as much as I can. Like I don't watch. I cannot watch TV. I can't watch sports, bro. Like I can't just surf television. And I don't watch and listen to what a lot of people watch or listen to. You know what I mean? I have to really protect what gets absorbed. The main thing is nature. I mean, the ocean is probably one of the most bomb place to chill. Salt water is some of the best grounding. And then you maybe get some trees and you breathe all this stuff in and you look at stuff, you hear stuff, you hear the birds, the language of the birds. They're the messengers of the forest. Do you understand what they're trying to tell the forest if you're in there? You know, I try personally, I don't just ignore the birds. Before I did, I was raised like, wow, these birds are just chirping. Now I listen to them and go, what are they saying? Or I observe them talking to each other. But so there's things like when it comes to taking in stimuli, right? Uh, Looking at a literal black, like square screen of images, you know what I'm saying? That can't be healthy for the brain, man.
No.
So that's
And
disconnecting us. That's disconnecting us from each other. That's disconnecting us from nature. I'm touching this black screen over right here. And what's so wild, Dustin, is the disconnect is so. We mentioned this. We tried to record this before, and I tell you, we were spitting such ghetto fire brilliance, man. You know what I mean? Like we sent a tsunami across the ether, man. The real ether, not the Ethernet. The no nets here. The ether.
that's
And
it.
man, what was I? We mentioned something about it'll come back to me. I kind of lost it for a second, but so basically where I'm going is so much screen time. People are still. Oh, here's where I was going. You're gonna, Dustin and other people. I know we all have disconnected from people that we were just on different paths. So what's funny is like you both, you start on a path on the land, and you just go 1 inch. You go, I'm gonna go this way 1 inch. I'm gonna go that way 1 inch. Man, in a couple days, you're almost like a mile apart.
Yeah.
So when it comes to I'm walking through the forest, I'm listening to the birds. Hey man, I'm at the beach, I'm listening to the waves. And there's all kinds of cool stuff. I'm in the forest, I'm listening. That's the stimuli I want to take in. That's what brings me joy. If it makes me feel good, then it's good. That's my little I don't need my only confirmation is really if it makes me feel good, then it's good for me. If it makes me feel bad, then it's bad for me. So I enjoy and I hear the birds and I can almost I can get decipher the bird language, the bird code. And
Oh,
it's funny,
and
my
that
last name is Bird. You know what I mean? So
see, there it is. There it is. There it is.
and
But see,
that's
and that's
real.
just it too. Yeah, no, the whole bird thing. Yeah, man, that's
Oh yeah.
it's. I love it. It's totally real. Like even down to, even down to okay, you're walking, you have a thought, and you're thinking, and you or just even have a conversation, with spirit or maybe your ancestor, whatever, right? Whatever the case may be, and then you see a certain species of a bird, and that's also a sign, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool, that was confirmation for what I was
Yeah.
literally just saying. And you know like that's what I love about nature is nature. You see all cycles of life in nature, every last
When
cycle
you're
in nature.
nature always finds harmony. So when you're in that scenario, which should be all the time, that also, if nature's in harmony and you're walking and thinking about something, and a certain type of bird comes across, that's a good confirmation not only of the thing you were thinking of, but that you're also in harmony because nature's always in harmony.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that is a very good indicator on where one might be. Um, yeah, I mean, sheesh, man.
Shit, trees has
Trees.
been
Okay,
trees
so
has been a big thing
I
for me.
saw a video the last couple days, Dustin. It's probably been floating around, but guy puts in, and I've always loved trees. They're awesome. He put in like these things into the trunks and the branches, like these like little indicator things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Goes to his machine, all these wires. Like imagine like
Yeah.
you have stuff on you. So like you
Yeah.
have all this stuff into a machine, and then it was literally like the vibe was making a tone. So the tree was constantly sending out this vibe tone, and it sounded very beautiful and pure and awesome. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
awesome.
And
Yes.
it's like, yo. So when you go, all this like hippie talk, you hugging tree and all that, like, that really helps with grounding. I'll shake a tree's
Yes.
hand. I'll take a branch and be like, yo, what's up, man?
Well, and that's it too. Like, I'll be honest, like I've always liked nature and trees, right? But over the past couple of years, I'm understanding all that on a much deeper level to where like
Me too.
now I'm sitting there and like after I do healing sessions and things like that, it's my favorite thing to do. And it's what, it's something that my mentor had taught me, and he was so right. And after you get done with something like that, or even you guys can, even if you're not, doing healing sessions, you guys can use this in your everyday practices too. Go underneath, sit under a tree, and just picture your body like just filling up. Okay, 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 this is as much negative shit that I can handle. Okay, it's time to let it all go. Make an agreement with the tree, talk to the tree, and be like, hey, like something like kind of like what I do. I go to the tree and I'm like, thank you, Mr. Tree, for being here. I just want, I've done a healing on somebody, and I just ask that you take all this stuff from me, whether it's, negative energy, disease, whatever the case may be, right? And just take it all from me. And I picture just my whole entire, all that stuff just whoosh and going down through my feet into the tree. And yeah, man, it's amazing. It's amazing,
Yo, the trees root for you.
right? I love the trees. They're awesome.
Absolutely. You know
Like,
what's funny is I call myself the mystic Ronin for a reason. And part of the mystic part is exactly what you're talking about. Um, the books that I read, the main books are like the leaves, the trees, the wood, the branches. And I can walk into a forest. I like to introduce myself to the forest when I get in a little bit past the tree line, and I can get a vibe for the forest. Sometimes you can sense a really old forest, and yeah, sure, you'll lay a hand on it just to go, "What's up?" and try and get that energy. That tree in that forest could care less about you. You might as well be a squirrel. And it's hilarious because they've been there a long time. They've seen a lot of things come and go, right? And then you go to like I've been to a man. I made this error about a year and a half ago. This forest up that I went to, it was a new forest. It was a young forest. I think they had a fire there. So this was I already immediately got the vibe like this is a very they're like a lot of they're gonna play with you, man. There's tricksters, you know what I mean? They're like mischievous, these entities, elementals, you know.
Hmm.
So I found the dopest camp spot off, I go backcountry camping and it's just like this come down. I'm 7 miles and in Appalachia and beautiful like little stream, not a river, but like a decent little stream. I'm like flat land next to that. I'm like, this is the spot right here, dude. And I entered into a particular portal that you know came with our mushy friends and of the variety. So it was fantastic. And I unfortunately I was there with another being that was. I tried to tell him. I don't know if he knew that I was trying to tell him. I'm telling you, this is not me just being silly. I'm really trying to tell you, like, this is don't battle this, right? So he was battling, but I could tell those energies, and I've been able to tell those personalities of these forests because they also those roots, which is I love what you said. I go, I push it all down to the feet, to the heel, to the soul, and into the ground. I'll even think of it going dissipating
Yep.
into the
Oh
ground.
yeah.
What we do with all electricity, you do it with your house, you do it with everything, right? You stick a pole in the ground. So yeah, man. So these trees have actually a very long reach of communication with each other. They communicate with each other. Actually, fungi. I'm not an expert on fungi. I know there's like a fungi crowd. They're like super mad scientists. I can't even pronounce the words that they use. But I what I gain from it is mushrooms are also like they're like a cell phone for trees. They're like the
Yeah,
tree
they're the
cell phone.
communicator. They're
Or
the
they send
communicator.
emails with mushroom spores.
Yeah, they're like, hey, this tree over here low on water. We're gonna have to. All right, okay, guys, let's band together. Let's send this tree some water. You know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, man.
Yep. I love
Be
it.
the leaf. Belief. Be the leaf of your
Nice.
family tree. Be the leaf of your family tree.
I like
You
it.
know,
I like
that
it.
actually comes from a legend of like a Bach saga. It's a old, from like Finland and stuff.
Okay.
But that's where the word belief comes from. So what happens if you? I'll tell you I'll tell you it real fast. I've told this before. Maybe your people will enjoy this and but the Bach saga, you can look it up. Handed down stories, handed down because this is like come from evidently Bach was like from a royal line lineage, and they had to memorize the saga, sa, right, to receive, ga, to give, right. So the saga, it's the Bach saga. So someone in your family transitions, and what they would do would be to burn their body to ash, and that's what's the essence that's left. Ash is like the driest thing in this realm of moisture. And then they would take that ash and put it into the sack of a bull, right? Now think about that in this time that we are around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, and then they would take that sack and bury it next to the family tree. Some say oak tree. Some it doesn't matter the tree. A tree that's been there a long time that isn't your family.
Yeah.
You bury that family relative there, and then it gets incorporated into the sap, the essence, the soul, and then it goes out to the branches, and then it goes out to the leaf, and then the sun. You know what I mean? Eventually,
Yeah.
the soul kind of goes with up into the sun, and it comes back around like precipitation, or no, what's that called? Precipitation.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
evaporate, bomb, bomb. That's where
Right.
rain comes from, or whatever. So
Yep.
that was the real short version of that. And so they would say, "Be the leaf," is where I was going with that.
I like that. I like that. That's pretty cool. And I mean, that's and essentially, I mean, really,
Oh,
go
Dustin,
ahead.
you're breaking up a little bit, my friend.
Uh, uh,
Let's see. It is Mercury retrograde, everyone. So I can tell you lots of things have been struggling with the communication. He's plugging in something. Let's see. Hey, that
hey,
made a
there we
difference.
go. There we go. Yeah, I think. Oh, my battery. Wow, that was fast. My battery died extremely fast. Wow.
Oh, okay. That's what was going on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it's pretty cool because even that like represents really a whole nother life cycle, right? So maybe there's
Yeah,
something in
right.
that too. Like like because like you said, becoming the tree, being the leaf, and then the leaves fall off the tree, leaves deteriorate, go back to the earth, and repeat, right? Just like the precipitation cycle, like you were saying. So that's pretty awesome. I like that.
Yeah, and
I
I'd
like
like
that.
to look at all these things like from the spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
I try and look at everything from the spiritual aspect, right? So, and then what I see that what happens here in this realm, just kind of like a kind of whatever kind of way, I look at that just as a manifestation of what's going on.
Yeah. Well, that's like also so also, oh man, I hate when that happens. It just left. It just left. Mm. It was a good one. It was
Trees.
tied it all into all this stuff. Um hmm. Yep, gone. Gone. Just gone.
What were we
That's
talking
okay.
about? Hold on. What was the last thing you remember?
Um we were just talking about the trees. I was talking about the life cycle, and then I
Yes,
mentioned
life
you were talking
cycle.
about the precipitation
Let's
and
see
all
things
that
from
good stuff.
spirit, maybe.
Um, oh yeah, so seeing things from spiritual perspective, even injuries, like when we injure ourselves or you think it's a random coincidence that you cut your right finger, or you think it's a coincidence that you broke your left leg, or your left knee is hurting, or whatever, right? No, that's not a coincidence either. But that's that that it goes even deeper into everything too, right? Everything means something. It's just all about getting to what it means. And you're it makes it a lot of people, they don't, I remember I had a conversation with an individual, um that I was like talking about emotions, how each emotion has a
Mm,
frequency, et cetera, and all that other stuff. And um, they said they were having an issue here, and I said, oh well, maybe it just so happened I just had was learning about just what this individual was struggling with or whatever. And I was like, well, do you have anything in your life that's blah 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 blah? And they were like, yeah. Why? And so I started to explain or whatever, and they immediately got super defensive. And yeah, they just didn't want to hear it. But I mean, it's okay. It's perfectly fine.
mm.
But it's kind of one of those things is where that, okay, you kind of like boop, plant a seed and walk away, right? And
Yeah.
then whenever, if ever, there comes another circumstance in their life that they're like, oh shit, this just happened and this is hurting on my body. Ooh. Maybe there is something to this.
Yeah, that's when you need some of the real hertz, like some energetic frequency hertz. Um,
Yep.
I always find it fascinating the talk and the realization that like you were saying these things, the frequency, the different emotion. You said emotions, and I also think of the organs. The organs sending off different frequencies, right? And it's I and of course the chakras and everything. But just I think it's fascinating how really real healers tapped in could be like, yo, I think you're I don't even know, like your pancreas is struggle. You should probably eat some more turmeric and get some frankincense in your life and get some more sun, kind of thing. Drink some salt water. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
like based on frequencies and things. It's just still amazes me to this day.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like yesterday, right? So, and yesterday at the healing circle, um, I always, anytime I'm ever doing any type of healing work, if there's an issue with somebody or they're battling an issue, I always know because during a healing session, I will get a pain and I will personally get a pain where that individual has a pain.
Wow.
And and at the end, I'm like, at the end of last night, I was like, so who has a pain in their foot here? Because I had like a extreme, like sharp pain in my foot, right? And then, the woman was like, "Oh yeah, that's me. Oh, that's crazy. You felt that?" I was like, "Yeah,
Mm.
no, no, I totally felt that."
Wow.
And it was really interesting. We had a lot of very interesting things happen last night, which was very cool. I always tell everybody every healing session that I've ever done in my entire life, not one is the same. They're all different. Every last one. They're all different in their own way. It's so wild and it's really awesome all at the same time too. Like um just they're all different, every last one. There's not one that I can go back and even, because I write a lot of interesting things down after my sessions and stuff too.
Oh, that's
So that way I
great.
can, what's that?
That's great.
Yeah, so that way I can go back and kind of, reference some things and maybe, learn, maybe look at progress, things like that, right? Which is pretty cool. And yeah, there was a lot of just really interesting things that happened last night, and it was a very powerful evening. Which actually leads me to the next thing. Actually, is I think I'm going to, because after last night I was like, you know what, I should probably live stream my healing circles because
Hmm.
I think people can tap in and watch and whatever, and they can join too because doesn't you don't have to be here. You don't have to be here to receive healing. That's for sure. Um,
That's incredible.
yeah, no, absolutely, and it's really cool. It's just a really cool experience all the way around. Um, I always have fun. I always have fun with it. It's always fun.
Yeah.
I so yeah.
I listened to before we started recording. I was listening to like a live meditation thing up until like the second we got on because I was just vibing to it,
Nice.
and it's a guy. It's like I don't know what you call it, but he's just talking, So it's
Oh, like a
guided
guided.
meditation or something. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, like a guided. Yeah, no, a guided meditation.
It was great. He's got some music in the background, so it's like it was working.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what I do. So what we do is, whoever shows up that night, I'll throw on some meditation music that I like, that I always do during my healing sessions, which is pretty specific. Which maybe in the future, maybe I'll maybe branch out and do some other ones too, but I don't know, man. There's just something about this one. It's got flutes and all kinds of stuff. Like it's really cool.
Wow.
I really vibe with it, right? So um, we throw that on. I tell everybody, hey, if you brought a crystal with you, brought your favorite crystal, use that, whatever. Or and if they don't have any and they do want some, I just tell them to pick something out of the store and use it, or whatever. And we'll do that, and we go into our healing session, and you know, we set our intention, and then we just go at it. Whatever we're trying to accomplish. Like last night was really just focusing on healing ourselves, right? And there was one individual that was actually supposed to come last night, but she couldn't make it because she was going to have surgery in the next couple of days. So we definitely sent some healing and loving energy her way as well, which is awesome.
It's incredible how that works.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And just so everybody knows, and just so everybody is aware, it's not everybody actually technically, if we're being real, um, everybody's really a healer. Everybody is. You just have to really tap into it. In order to actually get a full on healing session, you have to accept the energy. If you don't accept the energy, nothing's gonna happen. You know. So you consciously do have to accept the energy, and not only that, because that's all we really do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of fancy things that people like to say to sound smart and sound important and everything else, but really at the end of the day, like for me, I'm like, all right, spirit. I call ancestors. I call them all out, right? I'm like, hey, listen, we got this beautiful soul here wanting healing. I call the ancestors, right? Whatever, and I literally just ask, hey, listen, we give me whatever this individual soul needs, right? And everybody's a healer. So I just literally give them what they need, and they heal themselves. You know what I mean? That's how it
Bro,
works.
I would recommend I don't tell people what to do, but I would recommend, and I speak to myself in the mirror, everyone. This is a good opportunity, I guess, this weekend. Winter solstice, I think, is on Friday, 22nd, I believe. And so that should be another nice portal. We just had a 12/12 portal, but this is a good opportunity this weekend to, forgive all past, what you might consider, some sort of atrocity or whatever, some sort, anything, or you know, anyone that you feel that has wronged you. That is in the past, and it's a good time to probably make amends with that and forgive that, and then just also just apologize and say thank you to, like, your people, maybe your fam or friends or whatever. I would recommend, this is a good opportunity for that if you have any, like, things going on, right?
Absolutely,
Even
absolutely.
imagine, real or imagined. You know what I mean? Even if it doesn't, if not even real, but in your head it's real. Even that, like, hey man, I wrong. Hey Dustin, you remember you were like, who ate the last pizza that one time? Hey bro, that was me, man. I just want to let you know it's bothered me all these years. And you're like, pizza? We're like, we
That's
never had
funny.
pizza together. I'm like, well, for whatever reason, it's been bothering me. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then everything's this is a good opportunity for that. And you want to expand vibrations and frequency and consciousness. You go up to someone in your family who you consider is very detached from spirit. You'll be surprised. That might be a nice little nudge them towards the flow, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And yourself. You know. and we're all
Absolutely.
one. Like another concept I found interesting is looking at someone and thinking that's a reflection of me. When you talk about one love and oneness and all that talk, what does that mean? That means that everyone around you is also you, and you're them. That's a very when you fully grasp that, which is there's you know what I mean. There's no end to that,
Yeah.
and in a beautiful way. When you tap into that kind of vibe and mindset and outlook, I don't know. Things get things get way easier. Things get way lighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and like the chains are loose, and you just shake off a few more chains, and you go, "Wow, man, stuff's lighter, not so dense." Right? You want to talk about energy, it's like dense. So a lot of those problems people have, especially emotional ones that manifest themselves into some sort of like dense energy spot or something. You know what I'm saying? That might come out to someone's big toe or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
having awareness of that, I think, is so liberating. And then, you know,
Yeah.
kind of
You
focusing more on that. You know what's funny is people like watch, the distractions that people have are incredible. So it's like when those are out of the way and you start looking at these other things, kind of the way this from an energetic spirit kind of perspective,
Mhm.
things get way easier. Start caring a lot less about stuff that doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it, man. Like we've had this conversation, you know, off of video before. About I had a vision, I lost sight of a vision because of materialistic, nonsensical stuff, right? And yeah, no, it's definitely different. And not only that, to really put this in the kind of perspective too, if you're really doing that inner work and pushing and really trying to expand, right? Then you don't have time for all this material stuff anyway. Like that's like yeah, you just don't have time for it. Like all this stuff is literally a distraction. It's all a distraction to keep you from getting to know yourself and getting to know other people like that spiritually. And yeah, everything's a scam. you know?
Yeah, I mean, what I consider incredible, and I'm gonna switch gears just slightly, if that's okay.
Yeah,
But still,
absolutely.
when I think of some of these, like the hidden knowledge stuff, and there are architectures that exist to this day that are actually they're geopolymer, and you can hit them and they're in tune. There'll be these stone pillars. You can hit them and they're an actual different note. To me, that's a big healing center when used properly. And then you get into spires and all these spikes and what they call mostly churches nowadays are actually healing centers. Even you have those organs, right? You hit those organs or whatever, and they're for your organs. All that vibrational stuff. You can even have alchemy where like most of those points are like gold or something. And then so you go in there, you get this vibe, and you come out healed. Those are healing centers,
Yeah.
traditionally based on sound, mostly
Yeah. Well, that's the
and
thing.
frequency.
Like, that's funny that you mentioned this because literally,
And
like
all the
5 minutes
bells they
ago.
play, bro. Imagine the bells, and they play across the town. So you're everyone in town is getting a cool vibe every 30 minutes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because like literally 5 minutes ago, I grabbed my tuning forks and I got because I do if I feel like I need to, I'll use them during my healing sessions as well.
Heck yeah.
And then I have sound bowls and all that good stuff as well.
I
So I
love all of
definitely
them.
totally do that too. Um, and so does she. She actually does a sound bath a lot. Like we had a sound bath at the beach like a couple months ago.
It sounds sick. It sounds
Yeah, we do.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, we do stuff like that too, which is pretty awesome. It was kind of funny because there was a guy I remember. He was kind of reluctant, like to come up and because there's like 8, 10 people over here around the sound bowls, right? Just laying down, meditating, right? You got the ocean in the background, and then I happened to get up for a second, and I seen this guy come over, and you could tell he didn't really want to be seen, but you could see him. You could tell he was really curious, but he really did. He didn't want to say nothing. He was like, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, "No, it's fine. Just chill out. Whatever. That's what we're doing this for. You know."
What a fun thing to walk up on by
Yeah,
accident.
yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know.
it was cool, and we did it. We did it right around like sunset, and ended up getting dark. And uh, one lady
Nice.
wouldn't even wake up. Like it took her like 35 minutes to come out of it after the singing bowls were over and everything. She was knocked out, man.
Fully
She was
relaxed.
knocked out. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. It was pretty
Well,
cool. But yeah,
I think I'm about to hit it
yeah, no
because
problem,
it's a
brother. No
Tuesday. I
problem.
hope. Sorry,
I
I
feel
couldn't
ya.
go for. I feel like, man, we the lost tapes are still. But I think tonight, man, I really every time I talk to you, it's always a easy. It's always very easy, and I like to talk to people who are easy. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Right? Yeah, man. Listen. We already have enough resistance with everything else. We need
Yeah,
some
man.
things just to flow and go easy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, with that
But
being said, guys, we're gonna get off here, and definitely, again, want to thank Ronin for coming on. Really appreciate it. Again, first episode, first show, whatever you want to call it, of this brand new adventure. I know some of you may end up funneling over from another channel that I had. But I'll still be over there too. But really, this one's gonna take kind of the forefront. And yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome night.
may I
Much
say one
love,
thing? May I say
many
something real quick,
blessings.
brother?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So much gratitude and love. Dustin, it's an honor that I'm your first person here. You know what I mean? True honor of me, and I wish you much success. I consider it's already written. You've already made a ripple, and so that's beautiful. Everyone, again, peace and harmony. I got a thing if you guys want to check it out. It's Friday nights, and it's the Ronin experience. It's a lot of fun, and we rock from spirit as much as possible. And again, Dustin, you're such a wonderful. You have wonderful energy. I told you that before I even knew you were an energy worker. I was like, dude, your energy is awesome, bro. So massive
Appreciate
love.
that.
Appreciate you, man. Gratitude. Thank you.
Absolutely, much love, brother. And also, link will be in the description for Ronan's the Ronin experience. So make sure you guys check that out. Go subscribe, go vibe, and much love, many blessings, and we'll see you in the next one.